He was been borderline, hasn't he? Two of those, not quite on the side there. So dominating. Yeah, she's dominating completely. So obviously the senior of the two, I would say, Golova. Arm right the way around, isn't it, to secure Munigatami, and she doesn't look as if she's going anywhere there, Karimova. So Golova wins the first medal of this tournament in the under 48 kilograms category.
She must have been watching Takaichi Kengo earlier on, who pulled off a couple of those, didn't he?
Well, he did do it, and the Obatori Gaeshi and turnover, very basic, very fundamental, and then it's all about wrapping up the top half and securing. And then, of course, reproportioning the weight and making sure the opponent's going nowhere. Golova then gets Uzbekistan their first medal. They open up the account.
That will help her later in the period, in the qualification period, when that will push her up the ranking list.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I mean, it's all about securing world ranking points, then they get a better ranking going into the next event, and then the next one after that, and the next one after that, and it seeds them for those events, makes it a little bit easier to get medals. Then in 2 years' time, it's all systems go, all the points get halved, and then everybody's going for Olympic qualification. Beautiful turnover, well proportioned Osai Komi there as well by Golova, and she holds her for the 20 seconds needed to make it Ippon.
Coming up next will be the second of the bronze medal contest in the under 48 kilo category. Uldana Sail of Kazakhstan faces Mukadas Kubayeva of Uzbekistan. It'll be Sail in the white judogi, Kubayeva in blue.
Well, Kubayeva, you can see there that her world ranking is down 150. As we got closer and closer to the Olympic Games, of course, the world rankings were very, very high with the meetings of the athletes. Now, at the moment, some of the juniors coming in, they're starting almost from scratch. Some haven't got a world ranking. Sale hasn't got a world ranking, so anything she does now is going to give us some world ranking points.
Bonus. There she is, the 21 years old. A Kazakh fighter. Kubayeva's got a few years on her. She's 28.
Just had that air about her, didn't she, Kubayeva, when she came out there, very confident, straight in for the grip, just trying to dominate the grip.
A teammate had a good couple of goes with Sode Tsurikomigoshi and attempt the technique, but it's not as strong, it's not really unsettling Sale. On a couple of occasions, Sale looks as though she's going to be strong enough to counter her. She's again with the right arm up and around the collar.
Yeah, we said as well, didn't we, a little bit of an edge between these two countries coming up against each other, just a tad of an edge.
Neighbourly friendliness.
I think it is. Well, the crowd just looking up now, and they're right the way with this standing room only at the back. Amazing. Now something's going to happen. Almost counted up.
Kubayeva seems to be the fighter who initiates things. Sale looks like she's just waiting there for the counter.
Yeah, I think you're right. She is the one that's initiating, but you can make a mistake though, can't you? Especially when somebody's trying to counter. There's the Ouchi, almost there. Yeah, well, you've got to be careful, haven't we, for the bear hug. And
it's a clever piece of work, though. She almost comes unstuck there with the same entry. It's a low right-sided Ojigari, and then she had the right arm around the waist, which if you get the weight going in the right direction, it's a powerful technique. If it isn't, you can come unstuck, and she almost got countered.
Well, no Shidos on the board, and no penalties for not attacking. That's a good thing. Almost up to halfway through the contest. 4 minutes for ladies and 5 for the men. Big arm over the top, Kubieva. Ouchi this time again.
It's got to be a combination, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. It's got to be a combination that's going to eventually score.
She sold her on the Ojigari. Sale is waiting for that. She's looking to react to that. For me, that you've got the leg coming in on the outside. Uchimata would be the second part of that. So Ojigari, the first look, but quickly into the Uchimata, and it's in the other direction because you've got your opponent, forcing you that way, trying to block a forward to block the backward movement.
Action reaction, they call it, don't they? Action reaction, get them resisting in the opposite direction.
First time she's tried that.
Well, starting to hot up now. Still no penalties, both attacking. Now somebody's going to go. Oh, that was close again. Kubieva was the one that initiated. Is somebody going to get a penalty any second now? Maybe Sale is going to get it. Another couple, that's a score. Yuko this time.
Down on her side. And well, she was threatening with that for a long time.
Yeah, she did. She threatened with it all the time. And this time, like you said, she controlled as well with that hand. Look how she took her onto her side there. You can see it quite clearly. A Yuko scored.
And it's deep. She manages to get that right leg hooked in nice and deep. She puts a lot of effort into it. She's gone over with that little, it's sleeves. She's trying to throw off the sleeves, but it's down onto her knees. It's not as strong, but leads by Yuko anyway. A minute to go.
Wow, good contest. Again, no passivities. Both of them attacking, both going for it. A little bit of tactics as well. Saying that, Gabrieva now gets it. So she gets a Shido. That Yuko on the board there. Even if she gets 3 Shidos against her, then that Yuko would still win. 4 Shidos would be disqualification, so she can't afford to get too many. But with 30 seconds to go, that doesn't look plausible. It doesn't look as if that's going to be possible for Kubieva to get 3 more penalties.
She's been the aggressor throughout the contest, and she's brought her down again.
That was a good ippon, wasn't it? A driving Oichi carry there, and the crowd love it. She landed with force on her back, absolutely with impetus there. Sale absolutely distraught, but that was a nice driving Ouchigari there from Kubieva.
She wore her down with that one technique. She kept knocking at the door all the time. There'd been a couple of times when it looks as though she might get countered, but she didn't give up on it. She persisted in that. She eventually came up with the Yuko score, and I thought that was going to be enough with only 20-odd seconds left to go. She launched another one. It was bigger, stronger, with a better finish. Ended up flat on her back.
Yeah, good performance from Kubieva. Winner by Ippon. Ippon is the main aim of our game. Throw on the back with force. Have a look how she drives her there. Look at the extra force she gets. The use of the hand coming round as well to control the shoulder. And she drives off the back leg. And she drives forwards. And the momentum there takes her flat on her back. It was a clear Ippon. Yeah, she really controls that top half of the body there. Pulls it in with both hands. So the control with the hands as well was a massive plus. Great Ippon. Second bronze medal to Uzbekistan in the under 48 kilograms category. And what a great start to these medal matches.
Well, when you host, your championships, you want to take some medals, and the Uzbeks already have. Right, we come now to the final of the under 48 kilo category. Maria Perdzhskaya of Russia faces teammate Lilia Lotfulina. It'll be Perdzhskaya in the white judogi, Lotfulina in blue.
Yeah, this should be a good match. I think they're both sent out for experience. To have two in the final of the under 48s, like you said earlier, Sheldon, they've got a lot of depth in the under 48 kilograms and the under 52s. There's a lot of them. So to have two in here in this final, great for Russia.
Teammates will be back at home with their feet up, nice and relaxed. They can watch this from the comfort of their own home.
Yeah, under pressure now, though.
Yeah.
Perdiskaya has the higher world ranking out of these two, 46, and Lupfalina is 102. Lupfalina in blue, Perdiskaya in white.
It was Irina Dolgova who the Russians sent to Rio for the Olympic Games. It was disappointing games for her. She didn't perform as well as she had hoped.
No, I think they were definitely expecting her to be up there and round about the medals, weren't they, for sure. That's going to be a Shido for walking out there for Lupfalina. Didn't give it. So we've got to stay within the yellow area, and if you walk out, get pushed out, then a Shido will be given. You can get the Shido for pushing out and also for walking out, so you can't actually just push somebody out of the area. You can guide them, though. Slight difference. So now she's going to get it. Gets the Shido there. Lupfalina bad on the edge, so needs to turn about a metre in. Make sure that she stays in that yellow area.
Apart from a couple of foot taps, they haven't had a great deal, but that quite often is the case when the two fighters know each other really well. Neither of them really wants to get the second hand on, and they're just being penalised for that. Now Frank Wolf, the referee in the middle, has just said, hey, let's get to grips here, get on with it. So Perdiskaya picks up her first penalty. Lupfalina, having already picked up a penalty for passivity, is now on 2, and there's a little over 2 minutes left to go.
Well, like you said about knowing each other just that little bit too well, and you can sometimes just block each other. You can neutralise each other's techniques. But this is big stakes, really, because this could depend on... certainly make a decision as to whom goes out to the next couple of events. So they're fighting for selection because the process in Russia is really, well, it's quite intense, isn't it? I mean, to say that they've got a lot of depth is an understatement.
It's brutal, and quite often the selection is left up to what happens on the mat, and in particular when you get head-to-head. Lupfalina is going backwards here. She's picked up a third penalty, and Frank Wolf kind of indicated to the fighters that you needed some more action from them, or else he would be dishing out another penalty. But Perdiskaya put in a couple of, well, it's difficult to call them attacks, but they were a little bit more movement than Lupfalina showed, and Lupfalina has now picked up a third penalty. Little over a minute left to go.
Well, one more penalty and it will be all over. If it's against Lupfalina, of course. Perdiskaya just doing exactly what she needs to do to win this match. Sheldon was saying earlier that sometimes you just have to win the match. Although, of course, it's better to win it in a spectacular way if you can.
Yeah, I think we were talking about the contest with Matthias Turbots, who we'll see in the under 60 kilo category. It didn't look pretty, but it was certainly effective, and he won't worry. He's in the final of the under 60 kilo category. His first IJF medal for the Slovenian. Ooh. Oh, totally against the run of action there. All of a sudden, with 20 odd seconds left to go, a nice big Ojigari. Lupfalina comes crashing down. And that is that.
Well, like you say, against the run of play that was, Perdiskaya, just as an Ouchigari, just takes her flat onto her back, and it's all over. So it almost went Honsokamaki there.
They just seem to be wandering around without too much urgency, and all of a sudden comes up with a nice finish. We had to wait a bit for it, but I think that will probably end up making the highlight reel, It's nicely done.
Well, that's two really nice Ouchigaris now that we've seen. Just have a look how she counters her, in fact. It was an attack there from Latvalina, and she just changes the direction, again pushing off that back leg, controlling the upper part of the body as well, and it's the force in which she hits the mat that determines as to whether it is a wazari or an ippon. And the force of that, the impetus and the thud that we all heard makes the difference, and it was a good ippon there from Perdiskaya. Perdiskaya wins the gold. So gold, silver for Russia. Perdiskaya is the gold medalist. Latvalina has to be content with the silver.
I hadn't spotted the left Ko-Sotogaki attempt. It came almost as she was coming in for the right Ouchi, and the timing was unfortunate.
It was.
For Latvalina. Right, we've got the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 60 kilo category coming up now. Tofik Mamadov of Azerbaijan faces Baoyajan. I've slipped there.
Zayanteyev.
I couldn't even see it. Well done, Neil. Saved.
So Zayanteyev is actually the only one that's got any kind of points, world ranking points, 147. Mamadov is going to be coming out wearing white of Azerbaijan. Zayanteyev is in blue.
Sorry to drag you in at that stage, but
you just wanted to know that I was on it, didn't you?
No, I was completely lost. Now Mamadov threw nicely earlier on. I can't remember who he was up against. He scored Wazari, and then he kind of backpedaled a little bit. It was a nice technique. And then he showed some good awareness by just managing the clock really well. Who was it that was upset with his tactics? Yashuev, the Russian, Islam Yashuev. But it was his fault. He failed to take into consideration that there was only a minute left. And at 4 minutes on the clock, he decided to, get in gear. It was a little bit too late.
Well, that's why tactics are so important as well. I mean, we all like to see the big ippons, but sometimes you have to play the game as well. Well, they're both gripped up. Who's going to go in? Mamadov, the only one that's attacked so far.
You could do with another attack now just to make it safe, and if the referee calls mate, it'll be Zayantiev who will pick up the penalty. Tayev, yeah.
Yeah, Zayanteyev has done nothing, has he, so far? There we go.
He was falling away with that effort as well. He got absolutely mugged there. I don't believe that.
Well, but that happens so often now. Mamadov is the only one that's attacking.
Absolutely
Zayanteyev
mugged.
Just does one attack. He's done one attack in the whole time.
And the other thing, he was falling away. It was a failed attack. He just did it in time to avoid picking up the passivity penalty. I don't believe that.
Well, now Mamadov's got to come back from behind. He can do it. Big Sianagi attempt there from him. Just needs to keep up the work rate exactly the same. And he'll get 2 more Shidos.
Well, there's a single Shido against Mamadov at the moment. There's a little over 3 minutes left to go.
For anybody out there that is looking, first time watching judo, the little yellow flag up there on the board there, that's a Shido penalty. We get Shido penalties for, non-combativity stepping outside of the area, small infringements of the rules, but 4 of them, and it's Hon Sokomaki disqualification, so they can't afford to have them on the board at all, and one of them can cost the contest. Look at this Uchimata, not quite central there with the Uchimata, a spinning Uchimata, but you have to get them on their side or on their back to score.
Both fighters have got nice movement. There's nothing, boring about watching either of them. They change grips reasonably quickly, and they throw in, attacks here and there, but nothing strikes me as being really threatening or spectacular as yet. Still got 2 minutes to go. Mammadov and Jantiev may yet come up with something.
Yeah, I think it's Mammadov that has been the closest so far. I think he'll realise that something needs doing. He's got to get a score on the board.
He's not against the idea of dragging his Kazakh opponent into Nevaza. However, for me, it's a dangerous ploy. You're already down to into the last couple of minutes. You are at a disadvantage because you've got a Shido. So any time that you spend on the ground, you better be in a really strong position, or else it's just...
Well, he nearly made a mistake there, Mammadov, almost. Just spun himself into a hold down.
And Zhao Yuntayev is perfectly happy to burn as much of the clock on the ground as possible now.
Well, now Zayantayev is going to play a slightly different game, but I think that's where he'll come unstuck. Mammadov will have to go forwards. Mammadov will be the one initiating the techniques. He has been all the way through, and I think Zayantayev, you can see he's absolutely out of it there. He's really, really tired, and he's got 1 minute and 10 seconds to hold on to that very, very small score.
Mammadov showed some good fitness earlier on as well. And with 1 minute left to go, if he, steps on the gas here. Oh, just lost the right arm. If he'd had hold of that, got himself in a nice position to attack in that low Marote Seoinage, but just missed hanging on to the right arm.
Watch him now. Mammadov's going to come forwards. Yoko Otoshi off to the right. And Zayantayev there, you can see just one look at the clock, 45 seconds to go. One Shido up there against him, it will even it all up. It will go into golden score, and that won't suit him. Well, good technique, though. Yeah, that was a good one. Right the way underneath him for that Seoinage.
That kind of puts the prospect of a passivity penalty against Zayantayev out of the equation now, with that last attack in the last half minute.
Yeah, well, normally it's about 30, isn't it? 30 to 40 seconds they've got to attack within that period of time. And he's got out of trouble, actually, a couple of times, Zayantayev. You just got to say that. He's stealing this match.
That was it. That was the last roll of the dice, if you like, from Mammadov. Threw that Satemi Waza in, but it didn't come off. And it's Zayantayev of Kazakhstan who takes the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 60 kilo category. Baoyezhan Zayantayev. Mammadov, well, close to picking up an IJF Grand Prix medal, but
well, he kind of got mugged, didn't he? He dominated. Yeah, he dominated the Shido. We didn't feel probably that it was given at the right time, but I think other than that, Zayantayev just managed to hold on. So well-deserved bronze medal to Kazakhstan. So they get on the board, on the medal board now. I think we're going to see a few more, though, before the end of the tournament.
Well, for those, we're going to have some highlights from this one, or not? No, because it was done on a Shido. So let's go straight to the second of the bronze medal contest. And for those of you who watch a lot of judo, no real introductions needed here for two top draw fighters. Sharafudin Lutfilayev of Uzbekistan faces Dashtava Amatufshin of Mongolia. It'll be Lutfilayev in the white judogi, Dashtava in blue.
Yeah, this is a top draw one, isn't it? Both of them in the top 10 in the world rankings. Lutfiliev a little bit disappointed not going to the Olympic Games, then a bit of a shock in his opening contest where he got disqualified for doing an uchimata where he went directly onto the top of his head. Didn't really know why he got disqualified. So here he is bouncing back. Here's Dashtava, world rank number 5. So this is going to be a good contest. They've met twice before. Dashtava the winner on both the occasions, but this is another event.
Lutfiliev, we were talking about excitement. Well, he's got plenty of it, really, and non-stop attacking. He really, really is an attacking judoka, and I like watching him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. They're both big attackers, aren't they? And both going for it. And you can see that level of sharpness within their techniques, the execution of the techniques. One left, one right. A little bit of a problem to catch the sleeve. Dashtava seems to have a little bit more success with it. Oh! Now, is that going to be a Yuko? Because that was on the head as well.
No, I think they'll score that. There's no problem with this for me.
Standing Sianagi.
Yeah. Yuko for Dashtava.
What a brilliant change of direction that was.
Well, Lutfiliev, as you say, has been up against him twice in, competition. I dare say they'll have had a little run out in some kind of training. So it's not as though the Uzbek is unaware of Dashtava's throwing skills.
Well, that's it. We do spar with the people we fight as well. It happens. Look at that. Beautifully executed. Great change of direction there. Wraps up the top half. Lutfiliev did well, actually, just to turn out.
Disappointing time for the Mongolians at the Games. They would have hoped for possibly 3 medals.
Now then, that's a score
came back
as well. Came back there, didn't he? And look at the crowd really behind him. Yuko with the uchimata on the left.
Just about dragged the score out of this. Look.
Well, he attacked off the grip, which meant that he took the grip as he was attacking at the same time and onto his side there for the Yuko. Great contest.
Dashtava picked up a penalty for a gripping infringement there.
I think it was for blocking out. He was just blocking out, but they've got to block out to a certain degree, otherwise they're going to be up and up into the rafters. This is it. Something's going to happen here. Good change of direction there from Dashtava. There's the spinning uchimata. You can see that he lands on his side there. The upper part of the body lands on the side. Really rushing because he's at the time defender is something's going to happen. Well, Kosoto goes in and then they climb on top of it. The whole body weight goes on. Almost got it.
Clash of heads when they went down to the mat. I think he took a whack going to the mat rather than head to head. Whenever that grip exchange comes up, you don't want to be on the other end of the hands of the Mongolian.
Well, no, I literally, I wouldn't let the two hands come round my back. And, I always use it as an example of David Daly, who I fought back in my day. But, I mean, he did exactly the same because it's a form of their wrestling where they hold round the back. They haven't got big sleeves to grab hold of, so they hold round the back. That's why they're so comfortable with it.
He mentioned, the stadium announcer mentioned that during the preliminary to the final block. He mentioned about Kurash, that wrestling style. Yeah.
Well, that's where it comes from. They're so comfortable with it and they can throw off it. But what they've done as well is they've adapted to the traditional sleeve lapel as well if they need to do, but then they can go back to the form of wrestling.
Mind you, the Mongolians are adept at that kind of wrestling too. They've got their own version, which is on exhibits at their Nadam festival every year. So a special type of wrestling that they have.
Well, that's an incredible sight as well. Yeah, they have all sorts of people in that. Even the postman. Almost scored with the Ouchi there. Filiev had a little spate of it a second ago, but now Dashtivar back. And Filiev gets a penalty. Quite know why.
Well, there's a minute to go. It's been a good contest.
Oh, he's got it again! Yes. Oh, that was it. Ko Soto, he climbed onto that twice before, and this time he gets it.
He's given Wazarian, I think that's a good score.
No, it was a perfect score.
Yeah.
It was on his side.
Yeah.
It wasn't flat on the back. Even if he hit the ground hard, which he did, it wasn't flat on his back. It was a great score from the referee.
I think that was the right score. The crowd was screaming for an Ippon, but I think Wazari was a good and fair score, despite the fact that he powered him over. Shouldn't get dragged into it, with the speed and everything. You've got to see how the body lands, and I think that was a good score.
Well, you score the landing and not the flight, isn't it? That's how they do it. And Filiev gets another penalty there. He's just looked at the clock. He's got less than 30 seconds to go here, and he's on the defensive. The crowd erupted. They absolutely did. They were all on their feet. Everybody except Dashtivar.
It was partly on his back.
Wow, can he get the first win over this man, Dashtivar? Filiev on home soil. Started off so badly for him, and now it's just getting better and better. Don't forget, this is against the world number 5. 3 seconds left on the clock. It's all over. That was a great performance, and I said everybody was on their feet. Look at everybody now. What an audience this is. It really is a great audience.
Nice ending there from Dashtivar, who for a while was sitting on top of Lutfiliev, knowing that the contest had got away from him, and Lutfiliev was down on his knees as if to say, you can stay there as long as you like, Mal, because
I've won
and I'm wasted. But anyway, enjoy the moment. Sharafuddin Lutfiliev of Uzbekistan takes the contest on the back of 2 scores, but in particular that Wazari, that really did for him.
That was a terrific match, wasn't it? It really was.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, good one.
I think we might just have a little run through on some of the techniques that went into that. Look at that Ko Soto there. Just drives it. He changes the direction, and the head determines direction there. Didn't quite land on both of the shoulders, but he hits the ground with such force and then turns into the hold down. Didn't quite have the hold down secure. Otherwise, it would have been, I'm sure, Wazari Wazetiapon, but it was a massive Wazari. Good score, good call from the referee, and it was enough to win him the bronze medal.
When Lutfiliev hooks that left leg in for the Ko Soto, Dashtivar has to force. He's got no choice. He has to force going back. That's exactly the direction that he wants to take him in, bringing him over that leg.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was really.
Right, coming up next, the final of the under 60 kilo category. Matjas Trboc of Slovenia faces Mukridin Tilolov of Uzbekistan. Trboc in the white judogi, Tilolov in blue. There's another chance for medals for Uzbekistan here, but Tilolov is going to have to get past Trboc.
I think Trboc is going to be just too much for him. He's going to come out. It's all systems go with the Slovenians general, and that means Tabots is just going to be coming all over this, because it'll be his first ever chance of a Grand Prix medal of any kind, and gold medal is on the cards here. I think Tilovov is, well, young. It's his first time as well, and he's done well to get this far.
The referee in the middle for this one is Vladimir Nutsubidze, who's in another final.
Yeah, Tilovov just right the way underneath for the Sienagi there, and the whole crowd were behind him as well. Tabots, not the technically what I would call the greatest judoka, but he just is non-stop action. He'll just keep pushing forwards all the time. He'll change the direction of his techniques as well. Watch out for the Yoko Satemi. He'll try one way and then switch it to the other.
He's fit. He keeps active all the time. He's got a good judo brain with regard to when to launch attacks, how to launch them. Got reasonable defense. I mean, he doesn't often get spanked, standing up.
Yeah, I think, when people talk about fit, they say, oh, such and such is fit. But you have to ask, fit for what? And when you have a look at Tabots, the Slovenians in general, they're fit for absolute assault. It just comes forward. It's for the full 5 minutes or 4 minutes if it's the ladies, and it's just a non-stop assault. It's attack, and they don't let up.
Just doesn't want Tilolov to continue to be first to the attacks all the time. There's always that feeling that the referee begins to get the same.
Yeah, well, his semi-final was the same. Tilovov just did very, very well in that semi-final. He just kept at it all the time. He was one step ahead with the attacking, and he's doing the same here. And certainly Tabots has to change the pace.
Been on the mat twice already. Three times already today. 2 Ippons and 1 Wazari. He defeated Dashtova Amatovshin in the semi-final. So this is already a big day for the Slovenian.
Oh, dear me. Yeah. Oh, talk about a face plant there, Sheldon. Oh, my goodness. Right the way between the legs. We've seen that a couple of times. It kind of half turns into Teguruma at one stage. I think he's going to wear him down towards the end. It's halfway through the contest now, and now is his time. Tabots of Slovenia.
Yeah, you see that little Ochigari where he doesn't come close, he misses contact altogether, goes straight to his knees. Just get the feeling that, as Neil was just indicating there, the tempo, the power that he's had to put out, and now Tabots, who we've just been talking about, being a fit player and fit for 5 minutes. 5 minutes of activity, that's what he's trained for. And if you've only got 4 minutes in the tank, and Tabots has got 5, then we know where the contest is going. But he picks up the passivity penalty. We were talking about that as well. Just a little bit off the pace with the attacks. Look at the power in that. Didn't move him. No, and there's a minute 52.
Yeah, there's still 2 minutes to go here. I think Tabots will pick up the pace now.
He was slow to his feet, Tilolov. He ran back to his mark, but they're just too far away. He's putting in attacks that really have no threat to Tabots. Not one of those attacks could have caught him, whereas early on he looked a little bit dangerous, the first two attacks.
Tabots comes forwards. One of those is going to get him a Shido in a minute because he's flopping and dropping.
Just what he needed, a little bit of a break to tie his belt up. Minute 24. It's when it gets into the last minute the panic then shifts from one side to the other, and it's Turbots who's at a disadvantage at the moment. That's the penalty.
There's the Shido just definitely going to come, and so it's all evens now, which changes the whole contest, because Turbots now will come on really, really strong.
And now the gripping is going to become difficult for Tilolov. If Turbots is clever, he'll start throwing in little attacks just like that one, changing up the grips, making it awkward for him. And Tilolov, who's already shown that he's just going to throw in an attack when he feels that he needs to, he could pick up another penalty for a false attack. See, they're not strong ones.
They're not strong, but credit to him, because
Yeah,
he's only a young
go.
lad. You know,
Yeah,
he's there, and it's the first time for both of them in a major tournament final. So great for them both here, and given us a good display of heart and good determination. He's coming forwards again. Here he goes. Turbots comes forward.
Good effort. That was a better one. He actually threatened him there. He had to block it.
Yeah, there's a possibility this could go into golden score. Who do you think they're supporting there?
Big Uzbek flag being waved in the background. Just got to get his head up here, Turbots. He doesn't want to look negative or defensive.
Well, no, he needs to send the arm over and attack as well. Tilovov just doing the attacks, but not quite with rotation. The referee gives it the benefit this time. That was a flop, wasn't it? He's going to lose this if he's not careful. He's the one trying the attacks, but the referee doing well here. He's going to let it go into golden score.
Well, Tilolov has stood up for a little bit longer than I thought he would. He's up against an experienced fighter in Matthias Turbots. Not necessarily, the most successful Slovenian fighter we've ever had, but he's got some experience. That's a nice effort again from Tilolov. He'll only get a couple of looks at this as well, the Slovenian, if he's not careful, because they won't let him roll around forever without attacking.
Well, this is going to take a lot of energy as well, because that's tiring. When you're down there and you've just done a full 5 minutes or 5.5 minutes, Turbots needs a proper attack, though. He needs something good. They're poor attacks. They've got to be better than that. Tilovov has to do better. Turbots needs a good attack as well. Yoko Satemi.
Too far away with that one. And he couldn't, Tilolov couldn't come back with the Teiwaza as a counter.
No, he just about, didn't he? Broke his balance there. Gets away with it as far as the Shido's concerned.
Missed with the Satemi Waza. Tilolov was moving to his left and he was just out of the target area for Turbots with that Satemi Waza.
One more drop is going to cost this. A poor attack. Oh, now
that was enough.
Yeah, it was just.
Little Sumigaishi thrown in there by Turbots, and for the first time he's beginning to look tired now, Matthias Turbots. Slow to his feet.
Yeah, Tilovov has done well, hasn't he? Oh, that's it. That's going to be it.
Yeah.
Osai Komi. Can he hold him? Just needs to do 10 seconds.
It's gone now.
He only got to 5.
Well, is that the slip? Because you know he slipped into the Osai Komi. If he hadn't, that was a false attack.
It was a false one, and the referee hasn't given it, so he's got another chance here, Turbots. He needs a good attack.
He gave him the benefit of the doubt by letting Tilolov carry on with the Osai Komi. And he's gone again.
It's gone.
Ooh.
Surely that is going to be it. That cost him the gold medal. I think that Turbots...
he's lucky again.
Wow. That's twice he did that, Sheldon.
Yeah.
Twice. The crowd, I've got to say, they haven't been baying for Shidos, which is a good thing, but they were kind of half baying for that one.
But there's been sufficient enough action for them to really stay engaged, hasn't there? This has been a good contest. Look,
oh, wow.
What's the score? There is no score. Terrific contest. Edge of your seat. 2 minutes, 12 seconds into golden score. Just let it go. Let them fight. No wonder the guy refereed 4 contests in the Olympic Games. Oh, and he catches him!
Oh! Wow! What can you say about that? He's caught him with Ko Soto there. And, well, they win their first gold medal, Uzbekistan. Tilovov, credit to him because he absolutely buried him then. That was superb stuff. The crowd are on their feet here, as you can imagine. And Tilovov just, well, he took advantage of Tubots. Tubots just ran out of steam.
We were talking about he was fit, but what we said he was fit for 5 minutes.
Fit for what?
He wasn't fit for 7 minutes 20.
Well, that's it.
That was a bridge too far.
Well,
and Tilovov came back. We thought that he was spent at one stage, and he came back with an absolutely fantastic finish. And one more thing, credit to the man in the middle. He let it all go, didn't he?
That was a great bit of refereeing. It absolutely was. And for all the referees watching that was terrific stuff. Benefit of the doubt, let the contest go, and in the end, look what happens. It ends with an ippon. Ippon is what it's all about there, and Tilovov, great prospect. Look at Ko Soto, drives him over there, and he lands him clean on the points of his shoulders. And he couldn't stand up, could he, Tubots, in the end?
No. 5 minutes was his limit. He was good for 5. After that, it was borrowed time. Terrific contest.
Yeah, it was.
Really enjoyed that.
Well, you said it yourself, just on the edge of your seat action. It kept going from one to the other. It was all about, well, was one of them going to get another Shido, but we didn't want that. The referee didn't want that. And in the end, he let it go on until we got what everybody wanted.
Right, we've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 48 kilo category. Let's go down to have a look at Obaid Alanzi, who's making the presentations. First of all, to Nodira Gulova of Uzbekistan and Mukadas Kubayeva, also of Uzbekistan. There's the 2 bronze medals. Silver medalist is Lila Ludfilina of Russia. And the gold medal goes to Maria Pedzhskaya, also of Russia. Here's Neil.
Yeah, great 1-2 there for Russia. And it was, well, a driving Ochigari that won the match in the end. Pedzhskaya just drives off the back leg there, and Ludfilina couldn't stop it.
Are they saving all the Ochigaris for the final then?
They must be. But
both of them have gone over.
It's fantastic. What can you say? Well, Ochi, all throws to the back. Brilliant. And you know what? It all ends in ippon, which is what we want.
Ippons?
Yeah, amazing stuff.
Really good. I'm enjoying this. Let's see if we get some more after the Russian national anthem. Uzbekistan and Russia shared the medals, and yet both the categories that we've had so far have had some real excitement, and I've enjoyed that.
Yeah, 2 great finals, and there's confirmation there. Pedzhskaya of Russia, gold. Ludfilina of Russia, the silver. Golova of Uzbekistan and Kubayeva of Uzbekistan get bronzes.
Well, we've got 3 more weight categories to bring you in. If we get anywhere near the kind of action that we've had, we're going to have a really nice afternoon. 3 more to come. We're going to go now to the under 52 kilo category. And the first of the bronze medal contests features Gulayem Jumebayeva of Uzbekistan. She's up against Aygul Tashtimirova of Russia. Jumebayeva in white, Tashtimirova in blue.
Jumebayeva, just 18 years of age, coming into this for experience against the adults, and she's in here for the experience, and what an experience it is for her as well. She's going to be wearing white, and Tashtimirova of Russia, well ranked 50, is going to be in blue.
Tashtimirova straight in there. Long right leg stuck out there. Jumebayeva just managing to block it. Slightly off balance, the Russian was.
We've seen good transition from the Russians so far, and she gets taken over there. That was good hands there. Jumebayeva takes her over for a Yuko. And that was an Uchimata there from Tashtimirova of Russia that was tipped. And we call it, well, you can call it the tip, but they used the hands to direct. Now then, that's going to be one back, is it?
Didn't tip her there.
Whoa, great change of direction there.
Chance on the arm.
Is that going to be on? It looks like it might be on. Her head still in contact with the mat. Well, we saw a couple, didn't we, that carried on a little bit longer than that a couple of weeks ago.
Nice turn.
Yeah, it was. Nice turn, nice tip. And a good score there. Jumebayeva of Uzbekistan. A Yuko ahead. They're both going for it, aren't they?
Tashtimirova only knows one way.
Yeah, well,
straight ahead.
Tashtimirova there just manages a score. Sneaky score there, just takes her onto a side for a Yuko. So it's a Yuko each.
Someone asked me earlier on, why is there no coach for the Uzbek women? I don't know the answer to that, but as Neil was saying, sometimes the coaches are quite happy for the fighters to go out and just get it done themselves. They don't have to sit in the chair. So
yeah, especially if they're against each other or they train together all the time. They can't show favoritism. Well, Jumebayeva doing well here, and we all thought that Tashtimirova was going to dominate there. Jean-Pierre Gilbert, very tactical fighter himself when he was fighting back in the day. Back in the 80s, but great transition, and that's where a lot of these Russians are getting the transition from. Him and Patrick Roux, who are doing a good job out there with the Russian ladies.
Doesn't look as though the Shimawas is going anywhere. So the referee has called Mate, stands them up with just under 2 minutes left to go.
Tashtimirova just taking the sleeve first and then going in with the other hand. Well, we see this a lot, don't we? They're two hands on both the sleeves and then looking for the Sodi Tsurukomigoshi from it. Slightly bigger sleeves than, I'd say, 7 to 8 years ago when tailored sleeves were the norm. And I just have no idea who instigated the tailored sleeves, but now the sleeves are a lot baggier and easier to take hold of.
A little over a minute left to go. Both fighters managed to put a Yuko on the board. Jumabayeva and Nastimirova. All tied up at one apiece with a minute to go. Symmetry for you.
Nastimirova looking to get that big arm over the top all the time. Got to be careful here though. Can she get the leg out? Has to get the leg out for the 20 seconds to start. 36 seconds.
Good defense from the Russian there. Jumabayeva looks strong enough. It wasn't quite strong enough to extract the leg, as Neil was saying. Top half was reasonably well controlled. The difficulty in trying to extract the leg is you need to concentrate some of your efforts onto that leg, and that makes the top half weaker, and then that normally where everything collapses.
Yeah, you have to have control of the upper part before you take the leg out. But easier said. Does that all the time. Nastimirova, they're hooking in for the Uchimata. That's where she came unstuck with the score. Oh, looking for the counter, wasn't she? Jumabayeva.
Yeah, there was just a moment when it looked as though that counter would come off.
Yeah, it's going to go into golden score again. Sometimes the contest of two halves with the golden score. Just get chance just to get your mind right and think about change of tactics.
4 minutes went quickly.
They did.
No penalties, 2 scores. Here we are again in the golden score period, and it's not an entirely well, I'm perfectly happy for them to go in for another couple of minutes if they keep working away hard enough.
Yeah, the work rate's good, both trying to score, and that's a good thing. This was a close one as well, wasn't it? Yeah. Both just about turned to avoid the score there. Nastimirova again going in off the grip.
The thing about this is neither of the fighters are flagging. They're both in it. They're both attacking. So it's well worth having a little look. There's an Uchimata left-sided, but she's just falling away to her right. And Jumabayeva was able to avoid getting caught.
Yeah, Jumabayeva, I think, just waiting for that. That's what she's kind of half relying on. Change of technique this time. Jumabayeva trying the Yoko Tomoe.
Just made Nastimirova defend against that. Got the left foot up there, moved her over to one side, and then it was blocked. But it was enough to make Nastimirova block the effort.
Yeah, Nastimirova, it looks to me as if she's having problems here, and I think Jumabayeva is the one that's going to come forwards and attack her hard. Nastimirova looks to me as if she's having a few problems out there. Change of direction.
Just get the feeling now that it's getting away from the Russian. Couple of attacks, slow to her feet. She's behind by a couple of attacks. She's slow to her feet, and
yeah, I agree with you. Jumabayeva it's climbing on top of this match. She's slower, isn't she, like you said, getting up there, and Jumabayeva is the one instigating the techniques. Needs to make sure it's fully rotated with that drop Sianagi, though.
She was a little bit rushed there. She hasn't got a feeling of the sense of things. You know, could have taken just that little bit longer, put in a stronger attack and finished it there. Oh, that'll do.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's going to be a Yuko.
Yeah. Just off the side. Yeah, there was enough there. There's no complaints for me. There is enough there. That's an effort from Jumabayeva, where Tastimirova has gone on to her side and not trying to avoid the technique. She got caught, and that'll do for a score. She's a little bit, upset about it, but for me that was enough.
Well, it's one of those kind of situations where she was just falling behind. You said it. She was falling behind on attacks, and then in the end, a couple of attacks, one poor one that could have got her a penalty actually, and then the second one manages a score. So credit to her, she never stopped.
Well, you're going to see a replay of it. You can decide whether... Yeah, absolutely, there's no problem with that.
She landed on her side, absolutely.
It's going to be worse in slow motion. There you go, it's a full Yuko.
Yeah. So a good call from the referee there. She lands on her side. The upper part of the body has to make contact, and the Yuko is scored. So the 18-year-old, first Grand Prix medal of any kind, and it's a bronze medal in front of her home crowd.
Yeah, I'm okay with that for Yuko. Jumabayeva. Uzbekistan are having a field day here. And you know who's doing it for them? The women.
Yeah, it is. It's good. And a possibility here as well.
Dildora Ulibay-Dulieva of Uzbekistan faces Tina Sikic of Croatia. Ulibay-Dulieva in white, Sikic in blue. Mushkin Nurtazin of Kazakhstan is staying out in the middle for this one. They've kept him out here. Yeah, have another go. Have another go. They don't normally do that, do they?
They don't do that, no.
Go on, you might as well stay out there. You're doing all right, pal. Stay out there.
Abdulieva then in white and Sikic in blue.
Ojigari seems to be the technique in vogue at the moment. She had a little stab at that, didn't she?
Big right arm there, over the top there from Sikic, just controlling the head.
Jumabayeva wanted to come up for an interview then, didn't she? Come up and say hello.
She wanted to say hello to you.
She gave a little... I think it was in your direction she was moving, actually. Come up and say hello. Single Shido against Ulibay-Dulieva. And now we do have a coach in the chair for the Uzbek athlete. First time we've seen one.
Ulibay-Dulieva, I think, has a hard fight here with Sikic. Very experienced.
That's nice effort on the right side. You just got the right leg in the right place, and then Ulibay-Dulieva, not necessarily through her own action, she just happened to be going in that direction, just had enough space for the technique to break down. She picks up a second penalty, however, and there's 3 minutes left to go. This is not looking good.
Yeah, Sikic has a really good stance as well.
Yeah.
When she catches that sleeve, that big right thundering hand comes over the back to control, and I think that's certainly what Ulibay-Dulieva is having a real problem with. Yeah, the height difference as well. Yeah, we're just looking at the height difference. So she's walked out there. That could possibly be another penalty here.
Three penalties in a short space of time suggests to me they've taken that one away. She's very lucky to avoid that, because I think he was right. She stepped out. She wasn't pressured. There was no attack there. But that suggests to me that she's having real problems gripping, movement-wise, and the errors that fall into, into your game are being highlighted here.
Yeah, she's been totally dominated on the grips. Sikic just waiting her time, just doing everything that she needs to do. Big right arm over again. She's still looking for the big throw, I think, Sikic.
Almost came up with it there.
There's a Yuko, I think, is it? Or a Wazari?
The referee's in a better position to see where the back is. We got just that last angle there, but I'll go with... Yeah, I'll go with that then.
Well, it was a rolling one, anything that rolls onto the back, but she gets a Wazari for it. It was a slow Wazari, I think we could say. Soft one.
Took time to develop that one, didn't it? See Sikic just moving that little bit further away from her opponent.
That could be it. That Wazeti upon there, and Sikic takes her backwards. And she took her out onto the points of her shoulders there for that counter technique. And I think it might be all over.
It was a soft counter, wasn't it? It was a soft Wazari, and then in the end it was a soft counter. They're going to let it stand. Okay, that's done and dusted. Sikic comes up with a bronze medal here. However, I think she's going to be disappointed. She doesn't mind coming away with the bronze medal, I think, but she could have done better.
Yeah, it could have been more, couldn't it? But a little bit disappointed. She wanted a little bit more. Look how she takes her back there, rolls her onto her back. Wazali Awazeti upon, it was enough. Just manages to change the direction and direct her onto her back.
See, that's not a bad position.
No,
she got into a nice throwing position, but she just couldn't finish.
Just not quite enough power there, was there?
Yeah.
Dilieva was.
Did you say that she was how old she was? Was she 18?
18.
Another 18-year-old.
Yes.
Right. Well, speaking of 18-year-olds, here comes the 18-year-old who put out Tina Sikic in that semi-final. Diora Keldyurova of Uzbekistan faces Aygunim Tutikova of Kazakhstan. It's Geldyurova in the white judogi, Tuetikova in blue.
Well, Keldyurova is your pick here for this final. 18 years of age, the world cadet champion, and now coming through into senior ranks. First Grand Prix final. First senior final of any kind. Tutikova, ranked not that far.
The Uzbeks would be any better pleased than if Keldyurova beats the Kazakh fighter in the final. That was just fairy tale stuff for them. Goes again.
Well, I said, didn't I, in the earlier rounds that I wanted to see something more than just the Yoko Satemi and the Yoko Tomoi, and now we've seen it. Big thundering Cianagi. Gets caught. That's going to be a score. It is. That's a Yuko, is it? No, it's a Wazari. So Wazari goes there to Tudikova.
Well, that will heat things up now.
Well, it was completely against the run of play there, wasn't it? It just nobody expected that.
You just caught a little bit, was trying to step off it, but couldn't quite manage it. They've given Yuko instead. I'm okay with either of those, to be honest.
It looks a little bit like, to me, it just has that kind of look of Menezes. That very, very short, and then the Cianagi, Tomanagi combination. A lot of potential, and she's got to pull this Yuko back. if she wants her first Grand Prix win.
Someone's been doing the coaching somewhere. Someone's seen something, someone's developed something, because, you know, you haven't got that kind of, that depth. They haven't had that success in that kind of weight or any of the women's weights. So someone's doing a good job with a potentially good fighter. So it's good news for Uzbekistan. Only a Yuko down, 2 minutes to go.
Still has a chance. Just had another look there at the Ouchi that just rolled her onto her back for the Yuko. Sianagi again. And you indicated a little bit earlier about she just trying to pull her into the Newaza as well, just trying to get her in there. So not afraid to go to ground. Well, Keldyarova, who's in white, trying to get her first senior major title win here for Uzbekistan.
Too far away with that one. Needs to settle herself a little better before she launches the attack.
Doing a good job of it. Titikova, just from a tactical point of view, doing everything she should do, coming up to the final minute of the contest. Oh, better Sianagi, that one. That was a cross grip, had to go in immediately.
Lost the chance for the turnover. Now working
She
on
got
the arm.
She might have the arm there. Needs to get up, come back to the middle, go again. Judikova needs to hold on, but she can't backpedal too much.
That was desperation.
Yeah, she's looking to go Yoko Toshi there. The Yoko Satemiwas are off to the side, but it didn't work.
What this contest really needs now is a Yuko by Keldyarova. The roof will come off here.
Yeah, Keldyarova needs to go forwards, not backwards. No. Tominagi this time. Has she got the arm? She almost did.
Not.
Well, again, the transition's so important. 6 seconds left. She just needs to just block out now, Chutikova. Well, it's not going to be, is it? It's all over. Chutikova is going to win the gold medal for Kazakhstan.
Aygunim Chutikova of Kazakhstan overcomes Diora Keldyarova of Uzbekistan. However, this is not the be-all and end-all of it. There's a real learning process that takes quite a long time. And hopefully, for Keldyaraova's sake, she'll learn from this. There'll be a few things that need tightening up, some tactics as well, and the timing of some of her attacks really let her down. She wasn't set, she wasn't going to threaten her opponent with the timing of those attacks. She was a little bit rushed, maybe nerves got the better of her, but she never really threatened Chutikova with any of those attacks.
No, she didn't, and that was a little Ouchi there, just caught the inside of the leg, drove off the back, and just rolled her onto her back. She could have probably restricted it to a Yuko. She'd have just stayed on her side there, but rolled onto her back, and Yuko was given.
So, gold medal to Kazakhstan then. Snatching it from their Uzbek neighbours.
Well, I think that we're going to see a lot more of Keldyarova. I really do, but I think that silver medal, 18 years of age, good result for her.
Right, I think we've got the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 60 kilo category. Let's go down to the far end of the competition hall where Mohamed Marija, the IGF Education Director, and Rishad Sobirov are waiting to make the presentations. And the first of the medals goes to Sharafuddin Lutfilayev of Uzbekistan. Kazakh fighter Bayojan Shauyintayev picks up a bronze medal. Silver goes to Matias Turbots of Slovenia, but the gold medal goes to Merkridin Tilolov of Uzbekistan. They're the medal winners.
Yeah, that was a great result from Tilolov. It really was. It was so far into golden score, and we were pushing all the time that Turbots had the conditioning. In the end, it cost him. It really did, because the young Tilovov just stayed on top of the game and drove him backwards there onto his back for the Ippon and the gold medal in the end. Both of them, though, first time on the rostrum at a senior Grand Prix tournament.
Sobirov has moved smoothly from medal winner to medal presenter.
The great Sobirov, three-time Olympic medalist himself.
And now the national anthem of Uzbekistan. Well, that's what you want on the opening day of your competition, when you host a competition, a gold medal in your anthem playing.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that, does it? Confirmation of all the medalists up there. Zantiayev of Kazakhstan, Lutfilayev of Uzbekistan there are the bronze medalists, and Turbots of Slovenia, Tilovov of Uzbekistan, the gold medalist.
We've got the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 66 kilo category coming up now. Dmitry Minkov of Belarus faces Andras Jereb of Slovenia. It's Minkov in the white judogi, Jereb in blue.
Well, certainly Andras Jereb was on great form in the early rounds. He was, but just lost on that semi-final match to Mukhanov. So now trying to get another medal for Slovenia. The men really picking up, aren't they? We've got to be said, as well as the women. They've had a great success with the ladies team, of course, the Slovenian squad, as I like to call it. Here they are with the men coming up as well. Minkov in white, Zhereb in blue.
Yeah, I think they'll be really happy if they can go home with a couple of medals. Zhereb won't want to go home empty-handed now, but to be honest, Dmitry Minkov is quite a handful. Could be the toughest fight of the day.
Yeah, look at the stance there from Zhereb. He knows that he's got to be careful for the Yoko Satemiwaza there from Minkov. Got the grip now, the inside grip and the sleeve. Is he going to go in, Zhereb? Yes, he is, Uchimata. And he gets the Wazari there. Well, he had the sleeve, he had the lapel, everything was right for it, just needed to find the line in. Had to have a second stab at it, but in the end, rolled his opponent onto the shoulders and gets the Wazari.
He put himself in a good position, and the thing was he didn't lose contact with the hand. So when he followed his man, he still had control of the top half of the body, and Minkov couldn't turn off.
Well, he's still looking for the line in for that Uchimata. I wonder whether he's going to change the direction, but he's looking for the line, certainly. So this time attacking against that strong lapel hand. Minkov. Well, now it's up to Minkov to come back at Zhereb. He'll be looking at that Wazari thinking it's a mountain to climb. So Zhereb just stepped off the gas just for a little while. He's going to have another attack any second now. He'll realise that Minkov is just going to be waiting for him.
Coach questioning him. Not sure what the question was, but let's see if he can come up with the answer now.
That's going to be a score. Is that going to be a delay? Maybe too much of a delay there, but that drive there was very close though, wasn't it?
Just get the feeling that he got to ground and then began the push-off. And as you say, just a little bit too much of a delay.
Yeah, he was just a little bit too casual there, Zhereb.
Almost got caught.
Yeah, he's let him in 3 or 4 times for that Yoko. Now he's got the arm. Has he got the arm?
Oh, he's had to tap. Oh, I thought I saw him tap there.
No, he's not far off with it.
Yeah.
Just the wrong, not quite joint. That was close.
Saw him was reaching with his hand.
Go off, he has again.
Zhereb has taken his foot off the gas, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and he's just trying to control the match now, slowed it down to his pace.
Made it difficult with that grip as well. Perfectly happy just to sit on the sleeves or sleeve lapel and just close things down.
Well, you're right, he is just happy just to let the seconds tick away now. He has a good score on the board. So the last 20 seconds, can he make any kind of impact at all? Minkov just coming forwards. One last attack there from Jerub.
I might be harsh and say that was a false attack, you know. He was untidy, he didn't really pressure him. So yeah, and he does get penalised for avoiding to take a grip. He really has taken his foot off the gas, isn't he? Just coasting home now.
Difficult, isn't it? He just went into defensive mode there, Jerub. He knew that he was a Wazari up, and Minkov had to come forwards all the time. So another medal, second medal for Slovenia and for the men's team.
He won't feel that bad now that he didn't get into the final. He'll be going home with a medal. He can sit on the flight back with his teammate, and they say, okay, yeah, job done.
A couple of medals at the Grand Prix and world ranking points, of course.
Yeah. They're happy with that. There's the Uchimata.
Yeah, spinning Uchimata. A little bit of rotation in the Uchimata there. Just had to readjust the support leg. Just get it a little bit more central. Drove off to the side in the end. Took him onto his side there for the Wazari. Well, rolled him onto his back, actually. So that was the difference from the Yuko to the Wazari. He managed to roll him onto his shoulder blades. It was all part of the same movement, all part of the throw, and it was continuous.
Well, coming up next, we've got the second of the bronze medal matches in the under 66 kilo category. Sardor Nuriliev of Uzbekistan faces Dovdon Altunsuk of Mongolia. It's Nurilayev in the white judogi, Dovdon in blue, and here's Neil.
Yeah, well, you can see there that Dovdon were ranked 4, and he is one of the most experienced in the category. Certainly in this under 66 kilo lineup that we have here. Nurilayev of Uzbekistan knows that he's got his work cut out, but they're always dangerous and they have great throwing ability. Nurilayev is in white and Dovdon of Mongolia in blue. Well, Dovdon coming from all sorts of different directions. There's the Yoko Satemi. He also does the Kosoto from there. Straight away a penalty there for Nurilayev. Nurilayev just feels the danger out there. So unorthodox, the Mongolians. Trying for the double lapel. Have a look how he'll go again on it in a second.
He shouldn't be too concerned, Nurilayev. It's single Shido, first minute, okay. Bit of a slip, but...
Yeah, well, just saying that I thought that he might feel the danger out there, because certainly it's one thing us looking as coaches or as commentators, and you kind of see certain dangers, but when you get hold of them and you feel how dangerous it all is there, it's totally different. You know, I see sometimes the coaches on the side of the mat shouting, do something, attack, or rip the grip off, but easier said than done than if you've got Iliadis on the end of your arms completely dominating. Or Dovdon.
Well, he is a bit of a handful.
Nurulaev will have to put an attack in fairly soon. Twice now he's just dropped onto his back.
Yeah, Dovdan just had to block that. I wouldn't even really call it, a strong defence. But he certainly made a move to block it, and maybe just on the back of that, the referee Frank Wolf decided not to call that a false attack, but he's flirting with danger here. That was a better effort.
Yeah, good attempt there.
And now Dovdan manages to turn him.
Well, no, that was a score. I think Nurulaev gets the score from the Uchimata. He had a second stab at it, didn't he? He thought he was off it there, Dovdan.
Yeah, he did. He was looking for the turnover and then ended up on his side. Yeah, you're quite right.
So a mistake there from the world number 4, and now he's going to have to do something to come back into this match. It's just over halfway.
Nurulaev wasn't finished with the effort. Dovdan fancied that he'd blocked it, but Nurulaev wasn't finished. He gave it a second push, and when Dovdan came down on his side, he gave up that yuko.
Yeah, every time he feels in danger here, Nurulaev is coming in for an attack. Dovdan just not able to settle at all. That's going to be a penalty for Nurulaev.
Well, Dovdan attacked him there, didn't he? And he's kind of stepped off the attack. He was lucky that he'd come under attack, and that was what pushed him out. But there was a suspicion of him just wanting to be anywhere but the mat. And he now picks up a penalty for an overly defensive posture. He almost gets caught with a little Diashibarae. 2 penalties against Nurulaev, but he does have that yuko, but I think he's going to get a third here. That was poor.
Well, you're absolutely right. He should get a third penalty there for just dropping.
He does.
So he does. So one more and it's going to be all over here.
Minute and a half to go, and he's going to come under some serious pressure from Dovdan. I can't see him either not picking up another penalty or Dovdan catching him.
No, I think Dovdan's got to just get up here and just pile the pressure on.
Yeah.
It's funny how it changes all of a sudden.
That was enough with the hip technique there to count as an attack.
Still got a little way off though. Still got a long way to go. Dovdan needs a big technique.
Last minute.
Well, I know what Dovdan's thinking. If we both go passive, I'll get a Shido, you get 4.
That's it. Poor tactics from Nurulaev here.
Now, is that going to be a yuko? I thought he was close to his side there.
See, let's see if Dovdan's clever here, because he gets up, all-out attack, because Nurulaev really is passive at this point. Here, have a look.
Well, tell me that wasn't. I thought that was a yuko, but
it's on the board. Isn't it a yuko apiece?
Oh, it is a yuko apiece. So Dovdan now winning this.
Yeah.
How quickly the tides change.
So my thinking was that Dovdan would get up and go hell for leather, trying to get Nurulaev a final penalty. Doesn't need to. It's done now. And Dovdan has just walked out the area. You can afford to take a penalty. Yeah.
I'll take another one if I have to, he says, but doesn't need to. It's all over. Dovdan then of Mongolia gets the second bronze medal in this under 66 kilos category.
2 things happened there. Nurulaev ran out of steam, and the other thing was he relied too much on his being able to roll the dice with the Shidos, thinking I'm not going to give up a score. But when he gave up the score, the Shidos then did for him, and he'd used them all up anyway.
Yeah, from a tactical point of view, if you're one step behind, but he was a couple, wasn't he?
Yeah. So Dovdan comes back, having started as the number 1 seed. He comes back to pick up a bronze medal. Well, another fighter who may just think, okay, I'll take that. He lost to Takaichi Kengo, so there's no shame in that.
That was the score. Sumagage there just taking him over onto his side. That's what got the Yuko. Nuralev also scored a Yuko. So 1 Yuko each, but 3 penalties up there to Nuralev.
A bit of Mongolian music going on in the background.
I think you're right.
Right, we've got the final of the under 66 kilo category coming up next. Takaichi Kengo of Japan faces Azamat Mukhanov of Kazakhstan. It's Takaichi in the white judogi, Mukhanov in blue. "29 years old, Mukhanov. Be able to fight in the veterans soon, won't he?
It's not far off, is it? It's just over 30, I think. Or is it 35?
I don't know. It's never really interested me.
No, me neither.
Being a young man that I am.
Well, this should be interesting. We've said it several times throughout the day here. Just trying to find out exactly where the Japanese are coming from with Takaichi Kengo. Mukhanov, of course, knows that he's got his work cut out here, but Takaichi probably not as direct and as strong with certain techniques that he does as I would like to have seen him. But then saying that, it's his 3rd tournament, Grand Prix tournament, and his 3rd final.
Can Mukhanov test him? And can Takaichi stand up to the more experienced and probably more wily character, Azamat Mukhanov?
Well, I've got to get 2 hands on for one thing. I have to take the chance, either that or disappear underneath with the 1 hand on. Good for the Seoinage, of course. Both just trying to get to grips. Find out where the weak spots. Normally the one that dominates the grip initiates the technique as well. Well, neither one of these have done anything so far. They haven't attacked one time. So 1.5 minutes in, no penalty given. They're going to have to take a chance at some stage here, Sheldon. They really are. Coming up to 2 minutes here, and no indication.
It's been a real battle for grips, hasn't it?
Well, it has. It's strong with the grips and never so easy. So the referee realises that. He's right out there in the middle of it. But they've got 2 hands on now, and both of them have. Drops Seoinage, and that's going to be a Wazari. First technique then from Takaichi, and he drops right the way underneath there. So 1 attack, 1 Wazari. Well, beautiful Seoinage that was. Not quite as much control of the upper part of the body that he would have liked to finish it off, but a great technique.
Tried to work something on the right-hand side there. That failed. A little Satemi Waza from Mukhanov, but it was a bit desperate. And then it comes up a little bit of a Mashi Waza that puts Takaichi under some pressure, and now a chance on the ground. There's still 2 minutes to go. Okay. They'll squeeze out of that.
Yeah, still plenty of time, but now Takaichi now just going into slightly defensive mode. Needed to get that leg out. He's got a good Obatori Geishi as well. There's the Seoinage. Rolled onto the back. So just warranted the Wazari instead of the Ippon.
Yeah, he was just losing the shape at the end there, wasn't he? And full control. He ended up rolling away from Mukhanov at the end. That's a reasonable Sumigaishi effort, but he's put himself in some trouble now.
Yeah, that looks like it's it. He followed it right the way through there, into the hole down there. Munigatami didn't quite control the upper part, so it's Toguta. And it wasn't quite 10 seconds either. Now is he going for the Sangaku? It looks like he is. He's going to go for the Obatori as well. He's got 1 minute here. Into the last minute here, and Takaichi winning very comfortably. Doesn't really know what to do with him, does he? Mukhanov. The inside grip of Takaichi just dominating. And he's given him the inside grip every single time. And I don't know if I was coach, probably would advise against that. Saying that, he tried to catch the sleeve and push it down there, Mukhanov. So now Takaichi just letting the seconds tick away. 5 seconds away from the title. And Japan have their first gold medal. Just looking at the medals now, and the medals just spread all over the place. 4 different gold medals. But Uzbekistan leading at the moment with 6 medals in all. They got 4 bronzes as well, which is expected. They've got two lots of their whole squad in. 27 fighters for the ladies, and they've got 28, I think, for the men.
Yeah,
so
full group for the men.
There was the Seoinage again, right the way underneath, between the legs. Like you said, just lost that little bit of form, and that prevented him getting the little bit of momentum and height to score the Ippon.
Well, we've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 52 kilo category coming up this, I think. Let's go and have a look and see who it is that they've delegated that particular duty to. Oh, it's Bernd Achilles, IGF refereeing director. First of the bronze medals goes to Tina Sikic of Croatia. A very formal nod and a thank you. And then Gulayim Jumabayeva. I've been impressed with Jumabayeva. She fought well today.
I thought she fought very, very well. Yeah, terrific. Really good.
Silver medal goes to Diara Keliduyurova of Uzbekistan, but the gold medal goes to Aygunim Tuitikova of Kazakhstan.
Yeah, just stole it, didn't she? Sneaky little Ojigari that drove off the back leg, and she rolled onto her back there, didn't she? Keldyarova, the youngster, the cadet world champion, has to be happy with her silver medal. It's her first women's fully fledged Grand Prix medal, and she did very, very well all the way through.
And now the national anthem of Kazakhstan.
So confirmation, Jumbabayeva of Uzbekistan, Tina Sikic of Croatia get the bronzes. Kildiarova of Uzbekistan, the silver, well-deserved silver as well. Tutikova of Kazakhstan gets the gold.
Right, we come now to the bronze medal contests in the under 57 kilo category. The first of these features Amangul Alanazarova of Uzbekistan. She's up against her Kazakh opponent, Zverara Nishanbayeva, and it'll be Alanazarova in white, Nishanbayeva in blue. And the in the middle for this one is Vladimir Lutsubidze.
Well, we've got another Uzbekistan-Kazakhstan matchup. And we were expecting a lot of these here. Alana Zarova in white here, Nishanbayeva in blue.
Well, my idea of why it is that the Uzbek women don't have coaches in the chair, or coaches all the time, completely gone out of the window, because they've got one of their top draw coaches in the chair for this particular fighter in a bronze medal match, where they didn't when it was the gold medal match. I think it's down to clubs then.
I think you might be right, and I think this might be all over here. Nishinbayeva here just went into Yoko Shihogatami, just slipped around the legs there. It was a big mistake. Alanzarova just made the mistake, and it's all over.
Inside 45 seconds.
Yeah, all within 45 seconds, and I think you're right there about the coaching.
Maybe they're better off with that one.
So all over there.
They have one of their top coaches come in there. I think it's a local thing, the club or whatever, you know. Yeah, a little attempt at the Yoko Sutemi was a Sumigashi she was looking for, really. Made a slip. And then Nishanbayeva just took advantage, moved around to avoid the right leg. The knee was up there, but she got past that. And as Neil said, Yoko Shogatami was applied, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, just a mistake, wasn't it? You've got to do it with conviction. You can't do half-hearted. Readjustment of balance. Just needs to hold for the 20 seconds.
Right, we've got the second of the bronze medal contests coming up now. Sanobar Sultanova of Uzbekistan faces Anna Kaziulina of Kazakhstan. So another Uzbek-Kazakh matchup. We'll take a wide open.
Well, like we say, it's just a regular walk. I've done well 20 in blue.
Oh, yeah. Make sure I get this. What's of December? Is Anton 22 for December. There you go.
Bit of a
Couldn't have you contest without no. Spoil your viewing pleasure. The other fighter's not even in this fight, but you can see her in the background, watching, looking on. He's up next.
Kaziulina just that little bit stronger, I think, but we've said that before, haven't we? And then it's all suddenly gone awry, and they get thrown. But looking for the counter. Just a complete overthrow there with it.
Sat her on her backside, didn't she? She sort of part sitting up whilst that technique was being attempted. No score yet, 2:40 odd left to go. Of the score one with a little under left. It's
a good throw, isn't it? Obviously outside.
Yeah, yes.
Good decision.
Outside. Okay. In the bed. So, what do you think?
Well, she then got back, but just turned up.
Remain expected in the end to come up. Count. Good.
And that's
faced her a little bit. Full
happen here.
Okay. Sorry, Neil, go ahead.
I was going to say a big arm over the back there, which is always an indicator that somebody's going to attack.
A little untidy from Kaziulina at the end there. There's a degree of desperation that's just come into it, and think, take your time. Take your time. It's finely balanced, but don't panic. Minute 20 left to go.
Well, was that Hon Sokomaki? I think she's been Hon Sokomaki'd here, Kaziulina.
And again for the head dive. Here. Oh dear. Yeah.
Well, we saw one disqualification earlier on in the day, and now we've seen a second one with head dive. So you're not allowed to go on the front of the head or roll over the front of the head.
Well, Sultanova, rather fortuitously for her, benefits from that Hon Sokomaki. We come now to the final of the under 57 kilo category. It's not twins, it's just happens to be two blondes going to go head to head here. Manon Durbach of Luxembourg faces Anastasia Konkina of Russia. It's Durbach in the white judogi, Konkina in blue.
Yes, should be an interesting one. They've met once before. Konkina, the winner on that particular occasion. But it's Durbach that has the higher world ranking at 39 and Konkina at 77.
1 and 2, there's a concern. So, number 2 has gone head 1 4. Yes, 1. It wasn't.
The fifth one, he did almost over then.
We were talking about the ground. Now, she's won a couple of contests on the ground already as Durbach. So, I don't, today's the day. Ralph Haller, the coach from Luxembourg, that's Jean-Pierre Gilbert, the last shot that we had. I think Durbach is going to fancy her chances on the ground.
Yeah, well, normally you can tell the way they hold themselves, but she's going to get penalised for that. Just walks out of the area.
Yeah, she does.
So a Shido straight away there to Durbach.
That was untidy, unnecessary.
Yeah, it is better to attack off it rather than just walking out.
Should have stood up strong and moved left or right, but to wander backwards.
Well, even to circle
Yeah,
back in.
Yeah. See, she's looking again here. See, that's not a push out from Konkina. She's just been strong, that's all.
Yeah, second penalty to Durbach, and now she's one more and she'll be really in trouble here.
Stepping out once was a mistake. Stepping out a second time so closely after you've done the first, well, she was lucky.
Well, she's had it rubbed off, but I think she was lucky as well. I thought that, well, both the penalties gone?
No, only one. The scoreboard operator has got to come and correct that. Can't take off both penalties. And she gets caught there anyway. Wazari now. Durbach has stepped out twice and they've given 2 penalties. They've taken away, he was told to take one away, that's fine. But now,
taking the second one away as well.
Both penalties have gone.
There was the Soto for the score, takes her onto her side. So Konkina winning this, but should be a penalty on the board as well. Dominating from a left-handed position.
She looks comfortable, doesn't she, Konkina?
Yeah, she does. And look at that,
not
though.
Bad.
Has she brought...
Good little effort from Durbach.
Yeah, it was almost a Yuko back, wasn't it?
I think she's going to grow into this, Manon Durbach. She's toughed it out during that last qualification period, taken a lot of knocks. Got a nasty little cut just above her right eyelid and a bit of a bruiser now.
There's the Kosoto, drives her onto her
Yeah.
back there. She gets a
Good
Wazari
score.
for that.
Good score. Neil mentioned the number of scores from Ojigari, Kosoto Gaki,
A lot of throws to the back.
Yeah.
Now, Konkina going for the strangle or the arm. Going for the Jujigatami, I think.
Good work from Durbach there to avoid getting caught on the ground. If you specialise in nearwaza yourself, the last thing that you want to do is end up on the wrong end of a nearwaza technique yourself.
Coming up to the last minute. Konkina just dominating.
Tidy work from the Russian,
Yeah, from a tactical point of view, doing everything right. She's winning the match. And now she'll just block out for the next minute. Durbach just that little bit frustrated, I think. And that's going to be it. It's all over. Wazari Rossetti upon. So she gets the second score for that. It was a nice turn.
That's sharp, isn't it?
Yeah, it was nice.
It's an exceptionally difficult thing to do, to come under a strong attack. It was a good, strong Uchimata effort. It was a full-blooded Uchimata effort from Durbach. To ride that and then take it over, it's fraught with danger, because you could go. But she rides it well. At the same time, turns with the hands, takes it over, comes up with a second score. Konkina takes the gold medal in the under 57 kilo category.
Second gold medal for Russia in this tournament, puts them ahead in the medals after day one. So a solid performance from this young Russian team and a good performance there from Konkina. 2 good opportune, one Kosoto and the other one. Well, we'll have a look at them both. She just assists her over. She tips her onto her back. Look how she pushes down on the head and rotates her with the other hand as well. So 2 super scores. Wins her the final here in the under 57 kilos and gets Russia their second gold medal.
She's kind of waiting for it, isn't she? You know?
Well, she didn't need to do anything else
yeah.
in a way, did she? She just needed to let Durbach come on to her. 2 medal ceremonies still to come, so don't go away. The under 66 kilograms for men just about to happen.
Well, they're just collecting down at the far end of the competition hall. Right, the bronze medals go to Dovdon Altansuk of Mongolia and to Andras Jereb of Slovenia. Fought well today, didn't he?
He did fight very, very well. Ippons most of the way.
Silver medal goes to Azamat Mukhanov of Kazakhstan, but the gold medal goes to Takeichi Kengo of Japan.
Seoinage actually wins him the title. Hadn't attacked for almost 2 minutes, and I was saying, well, it's about time they attacked. The first attack on the board, and it was Kengo Takeichi right the way underneath for Seoinage. Didn't quite have the upper part of the body under absolute control, so just a wazari.
Now the national anthem of Japan. Is that 100% record then from the Japanese?
100%
so far.
Absolutely. Confirmation, under 66 kilograms then. Takeichi of Japan gets the gold medal. Mukhanov of Kazakhstan gets the silver. Andrei Jereb of Slovenia and Dovdon of Mongolia get the bronzes.
Well, before we come to the last awarding ceremony, we've got some highlights from today's judo. Take a look at this. And we come to the last of the awarding ceremonies. That's the medals in the under 57 kilo category. And the first of the bronze medals goes to Sanobar Sultanova of Uzbekistan and Sevara Nishanbayeva of Kazakhstan. Silver medal goes to Manon Durbach of Luxembourg. And the gold medal goes to Anastasia Konkina of Russia.
Well, it was a nice series of attacks, wasn't it, that won the gold medal, Konkina, in the end. Nice turn of events there, nice tip to get the second Wazari. Just rolled her onto her back there for the Wazari. Kosoto gets the first, and that one gets the Wazari Wazetti Ippon.
And now the national anthem of Russia.
So confirmation then. Konkina of Russia gets the gold medal. Durbach of Luxembourg the silver. Nishinbayev, Kazakhstan, and Sultanova of Uzbekistan get the bronzes. So after day one here in Tashkent, we've seen some great judo and plenty of ippons. Russia just lead the way in the medals, but the medals can all change in the next 2 days, and they often do. Tomorrow we have the 4 middleweight categories and lots more judo action. From Sheldon and I, until tomorrow, it's goodbye for now.